Mr. Morse came to our classroom and told us about his project that involves Atlantic Shoreline Electric Locomotive number 100. This trolley car is like a train, but it's powered by electricity. The Atlantic Shoreline was a company that 87 miles of trolley track in the southern Maine. Mr. Morse told us that in 1907, nearly 6 million passengers rode on the ASL and nearly 50,000 tons of coal was hauled on the line. ASL number 100 ran in our community many years ago. We decided to create books for the second and third graders because they are learning about our state's history. This project has taught us what service learning means, how to interact with our local communities by studying its history, and how to work together as a class. We hope you enjoy the rest of our presentation.
Good evening. My name is Jenna, and I'm a 6th grader at MLD in Arundel. And we're working on a service learning project having to do with the Atlantic Shoreline trolley car number 100, as Mr. Morse told you. We'll be making phone calls for support from the community and things like that. I just want to let you know that I am very proud to be standing in front of all these important people and telling you about my project. The 3 key principles underline the kids' service learning model: academic integrity, apprentice citizenship, and student ownership, acting like the legs of a tripod to provide vital support and balance. This learning model connects classroom instruction with community service, helping students develop the knowledge and skills they need to be effective citizens. We'll be researching the time period when trolleys were used, and we'll be writing children's books to teach them about the life during the trolleys. And I'd like to thank you all for coming, and have a great night.
How do you think you've come closer to your community by doing this project?
Well, I've learned what community actually means. I've learned how you can help your school community and everyone around you, and how you can learn about the community.
Okay. How has this project been fun for you?
It's been fun to write the children's books, and it's been fun to actually learn and make the DVDs that we're making, and it's been fun to have something different than just looking at your school books all day.
What kinds of things have you learned during this project?
Well, I was talking to my grandmother about our service learning project, and she told me that her father worked for the Atlantic Shoreline Railway.
How did you feel when she told you?
I was excited because I felt more connected to my family history and to the project.
What are some things that you learned about your family history and your great-grandfather?
My great-grandfather's name was Walter Benjamin Brown, and he was born in 1879 in the Arundel Kennebunk area. He worked as a motorman where he operated the trolleys, and he also worked as a conductor where he took money and tickets for the Atlantic Shoreline in the early 1900s. My grandmother gave me this picture of her father, and he's in his trolley outfit uniform. And these are buttons off of his uniform, and these ones say conductor, and this one says Atlantic Shore Railway, and this one has a trolley on it. My great-grandparents met on a trolley in 1909, and they got married in 1910 and had 8 children. And also, my great-grandfather and a woman named Mrs. Boston opened a confectionery store, and they made donuts and coffee for the passengers on the trolley. In about 1902, my great-great-grandfather had some land that Atlantic Shoreline wanted to build a big trolley barn on it, but he decided that he didn't want to sell the house that was on it. So in the middle of the night, they picked the house up and moved it across the street And then later they built a trolley barn on it. And the house is not still in the family, but my grandmother does live right next door.
Why'd they move his house in the middle of the night?
Well, back then it was illegal to do that kind of stuff, so if it was in the middle of the night, they climbed on the seats.